Hey everyone, this is Alvin. Welcome back to the studio. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone's doing well. This is sketchbook number 4 for the year 2023. And I'm using a Dura watercolor pad. 24 sheets, 300 GSM, 16 by 24 cm. It says here, 细纹 or fine grain. And when we open this up, it feels like a hot press, so there's no texture on this at all. And once again, thank you so much to the Pentel crew for sending me this brush sign pen twin. It has whatever color it is, it would have a fine liner tip on one side and a brush tip on the other side for whatever color you choose. And usually I use this to add in bits and nuggets of my sketch or behind the scenes that I feel that's important. It will also add extra color to my sketchbook. So hey, let's begin sketchbook number 4 with the start date on the 27th of May 2023. Let's begin. And this begins at a chicken rice stall at Golden Cafe Katong Shopping Centre. This was for an urban sketching session. I had done an oil painting, I believe, of the old Katong Shopping Centre that we met to sketch at, and I think a lot of us adjourned at this food court for lunch. And this is hanging out. My students invited me for an outing during the summer break, and we were having a meal before we headed off to Sentosa for a sketching session. And this is me on the blue line practicing my people sketches. And this is lunch over at Katong Shopping Centre, the same session here. It's just that the food I decided to use in watercolor, so I wanted to make sure that I was painting on 300 GSM. This is the starting page of the sketchbook, so this is just a cover, much thinner in quality. You have this at the front and always at the back end of any sketchbook or any book for that matter. So this is having a popiah and kueh pie tea, local food, spring roll, and I would say a little savory cupcake that is from the Peranakan cuisine. That was delicious. And this one, yeah, I decided to just leave it blank. Sometimes, you just need breathing space. These were just people dining while I was waiting for my food to arrive at the food court, the same food court at Katong Shopping Centre. And hi to Don Donkey. We're back here for a sketch, and I'm always trying to get there on the 1st of every month because that's when we get sushi promos. This is a negitoro maki, so it's almost like minced tuna. These are always fun to create. This little packaging that they have that's always filled with patterns, beautiful, pretty patterns. Alright, so masterclass happened during the school break at LaSalle, and I decided to do figure drawing with costumes and also while the figure is moving. Another Don Donkey sketch, and I think it's from the same first of the month session for this one. And this is back again at the master sketch session. This is one of my former students who dropped by, and he reminds me of Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse world. Okay, quick sketch. It was a test for me to see if I can complete this while it was still not fully melted. It did melt a little bit, this ice cream that I had from Yole, but not as much. So the more I practice, the faster I get at it. The pistachio sauce, by the way, is the yums. And it was warm also, so super yummy. And this was a train sketch done over 2 sessions. One, I was trying to capture the people that seated, and I realized, oh wow, at another sketch session on board, I realized that, hey, you know what, this might look like one scene, but I also want to be clear that it is from 2 separate sessions, so hence the 2 different colors. And Yes, this is the Singapore Sling. This is the non-alcoholic version. This was right after a meeting that I had with them, a 3-hour tour in fact, of the premise, and this was in anticipation for the mural that I would be working on. Click on this link if you would like to see the whole entire process of the Raffles Hotel Long Bar Singapore Sling mural. Yes, and just checking out a new coffee joint at Chinatown. It's called September Coffee, and trying their Gula Melaka. It's like palm sugar, and this, if I can remember correctly, would be salt all around the rim of the coffee cup. Yeah, it was delicious. And yes, celebrating a birthday, also relocating of a friend to Hong Kong. So I took her out to fish pool, and yes, we have mermaids in Singapore. I've not made the video yet, but stay tuned for that. And this is Kokoro. On the 8th of every month, their Maze Soba is on promotion. And this kind of ramen originates from Taiwan. And me checking out Paris Baguette for the very first time for a cafe sketch. And back at Chartres, my favorite place, I think this was the time when it was strawberry season, and everything you saw around was just red. While waiting for my appointment at the hospital, I made a sketch of these guys. And you can tell that the wait wasn't too long before it was my turn. I was invited to do a demo painting of a still life set provided by Friday's Garden over at the Singapore Expo. It was Broadcast Media Weekend, and AV8 hired me and a few artists to do a live demo while they pointed 5 red cameras at us for visitors to check out on their camera. This is one of them, and it was white in color. First time me seeing a white red camera, such a gorgeous looking instrument. Yeah, and this is me checking out Du's Coffee over at Upper Thomson. It's kind of way up north, but I happened to be there for a project, well, around that area, so I decided to check in. And this is back at my matcha house, my favorite Japanese cafes. And this time I decided not to have hot matcha. Instead, I had a cold matcha with Gula Melaka, palm natural sugar thing that I pointed out earlier on. I love this sketch. And this is taking a break from my Raffles Hotel project. So it did happen. And this is across from Bras Basah, Curaçao, one of my favorite coffee places to just chill in during the hot afternoon sun period before heading back when it's cooler to continue on with the mural. And this is the matcha that accompanied this sketch. Alright, so me at Tekka Market, and this was right before the major 3-month renovation, in sketching a prata man or flatbread man making some pratas. So this is another coffee break at Bras Basah. This place is called Narrative. Super great vibes. The baristas are all so friendly and knowledgeable about their craft. It's just so pleasant to be chatting with them. This is Vanilla Pistachio, and it's over at Elijah Pies. I heard about that pies, but I was so filled from dinner, I decided just to have a vanilla pistachio. I really enjoyed it. There are crumbs of raw pistachio resting on the beverage itself, so when it's blended in, it's so good and delicious. Okay, bus to Katong, over to Kinzen, a newly opened Japanese joint over at Brunner's Cafe. And you know what? This is really good. You know, usually when I see a Japanese store at a food court or kopitiam, a local coffee shop setting, I kind of dodge it or skip it. But I was invited to this, number one. And number two, the food was delicious. They serve udon with curry on it and fried chicken. And the chef that prepares the food, he was formerly a chef from a premium Japanese restaurant. So all that knowledge, or all that skills and expertise going into this, really good. And this is the first time me seeing soft serve ice cream being served at a local coffee shop or kopitiam. I found a tuk-tuk over at Bugis Plus, so I had to sketch it because I did not make any sketches of any tuk-tuks in my recent trip to Bangkok. And this is at Kinzan, the sketch of this place here over at Brunners. And this is opening day of the Thai supermarket, which was at Golden Mile Complex. They closed down, remember that video? I'm gonna have the link over here. Yes, so they finally opened at Aperia Mall. Some of the stores from Golden Mile Complex had shifted over to Aperia Mall, so there's a small little Thai community growing there, but not as flourishing as it was when all of them were at Golden Mile Complex. I really miss that place. Okay, time for massage. Yes. And passing by Chinatown for a mango grass jelly at Hap Kai Food after a long day. Train sketch. Can't remember from where to where, but yeah, that was a train sketch. And again, this must have been another day, Hap Ka Phun, and it was definitely a warm day, so had to cool it off with a chendol sketch and dessert. Another quick train sketch. You can see by the quickness of the lines how fleeting this particular sketch was. Passing by another prata maker over at Chinatown Point. He was really generous. He invited me for a free meal, but I said no, thank you so much. Yeah, I just had lunch. Train sketch, and this is another Chengteng place over at Chinatown, right next to Tongheng, opposite the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple. And checking out another Yole joint. It is one of the bigger ones. If I'm not wrong, it is the biggest Yole cafe in Singapore. So they also serve food. And this is the Mango Blue Island. What attracted me to go in to sketch this is the poster of this outside the cafe. And this blue here, it's a natural ingredient called spirulina that creates this foamy blue. Hap Ka Phun on the very crowded weekday and weekend nights. I passed by this place called The Darkness, also at the strip of Neil Road at Chinatown, and I saw this really premium looking Chengteng on the menu with this really lovely looking serving bowl, and I said I've got to go in and sketch. I went in, I made the sketch. The owner saw the sketch and said, "Here you go, this is grass jelly with longan and mango." And I was like, no, it's too much. And he goes, no, thank you for creating this. He wasn't expecting anything from me at all, and yet I did put up that post. So do support them if you're around that area. It's called Darkness. Another train sketch. And checking out Snap Cafe on their opening day, and they were having their 1-for-1 deal, so I got a Spanish latte and got another matcha latte for myself. Yeah, very good people over at Amoy. This is Ume-san 100 or Ume-san Hyaku. I didn't go in, I was having my dessert next door. This is a speakeasy ramen bar. You would see fake vending machines like the ones you'd find in Japan. And the one right here in the middle is actually a door that opens up for customers to go in and dine. You should check out that place one of these days. So this is Larkin Coffee. This company has come in and taken over Singapore by storm. It's from China, and I've ordered a coconut latte. And I'm always looking out for their 50% offers because I feel that their coffees are overpriced. And yes, another tuk-tuk over at the Thai supermarket at Aperia Mall. They actually have this at the entrance, so I decided, okay, let's make a sketch of this. How cool is this? This book has 2 tuk-tuks. Okay, so passing by Chinatown Square in the evenings on weekends, I see people doing line dancing. And this is me over at Lazy Lizard restaurant having a meal. Thank you so much for providing this meal, guys. I was working on a mural there. Check out this video if you're interested in watching the process or seeing that mural come to life. This is another section of the Thai supermarket. It's called Talat Thai and they are serving fried balls as a snack. So there's this restaurant and a few eateries built within the Thai supermarket at Aperia Mall. And I noticed that they have gong che nampla or raw prawns in fish sauce. That was my favorite dish in my recent visit to Bangkok, and just so happy that they serve this in Singapore, so I don't have to go all the way to Bangkok to eat it. Just have to pay a bomb in Singapore to eat this. Yes. And it's durian season again, so I decided to have one at Chinatown while sketching others having durians. And yes, great vibes here at Elijah Pies. I was in there for a coffee sketch right here, but decided that I shouldn't sketch this ink sketch on beautiful 300 GSM watercolor paper, so I sketched it on this back end, which brings us to the end of this book. This is just waiting for a friend at City Hall MRT station. Thank you so much once again for joining me in my sketchbook tour. I will be rolling out the next one real soon. This is Alvin Mark once again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments and your likes and for following me on YouTube. It is an inspiration and also an encouragement. I will continue to put out more of these. So until the next episode, everyone, take care, stay safe, stay creative. Ciao, ciao.